Okay, welcome everybody to another edition of TEW 2020 as we're here in 2003 with World Championship Wrestling as we continue our series. And it's officially Valentine's Day week, but you won't see anything about that at the show because, well, I didn't realize it was that week until, I was mostly done with actually booking. So, and also we need to set the show for somewhere in the Midwest. So welcome to beautiful Omaha, Nebraska. I hope I haven't already used this one. Regardless, so we've got a fun show, some big matches, some more lead up to Super Brawl, so let's get rolling. So we start out with a pre-show women's match, mainly because I didn't have a women's match on the show, and there's a couple girls who haven't had too much actual ring time lately outside of Saturday night. So I decided to just give them some time here. So in an abysmal pre-show match, Beth Phoenix, Celine Cartier, and Jordan Cole defeated Nikki Rocks, Amber O'Neil, and Lexie James in 15:23 when Phoenix pinned Nikki Rocks with the Down in Flames. So let's see here. Everybody was in the 40s, aside from Beth Phoenix, who was at a 41, and Nikki Rocks was at a 30. But still, solid, perfectly okay pre-show match as it gets a 50. Not the end of the world. So we start the show off. So basically how it starts is, Seek and Destroy hits. Sting comes out. Everybody pops loud. And he's like, well. I bet you a lot of folks out there, including some people in the back, thought the old Stinger was done. Well, I'm beaten. I'm bruised. But I can take a look and keep on ticking. And you know what? It's showtime, because Deadpool, get your asses out here. So Deadpool comes out. Sting, Macias and Vampiro, actually. No Lestat, no Morningstar, because, well, we don't really need them out here at the moment. So, Macias looks big and scary. Vampiro asks, Steve, I thought we were done with this. They even had a nice video package about this being the final battle and everything. But yet, here we are again. Seems like this will never be over as long as both of us are standing. And Vamp's like, oh. Well, we can arrange the end of that. Now, personally, we've gotten worse too many, and the truth is we're too physically evenly matched to actually get a final victory. But my machine, my monster, who has come from the depths of hell itself to destroy, maim, devour, and cause chaos wherever he roars. He can, however, happily destroy you at Super Brawl if that's what you want. He's run over your best friend. He's run over your compatriot. He's even run over a legend. Now he'll run you over. Okay? Sting's about to say something when Bischoff comes out. And he's like, wait. Just a second. Vampiro, we were in negotiations to do you and Macias against Booker T and Diamond Hollis at Super Brawl. Now, unfortunately, Diamond Dallas Page is injured, so he won't be able to be back by Super Brawl. Now, I was going to try to get Sting into this tag match, but now it seems you want a match of Sting versus Macias, and since I love getting people to buy Super Brawl, I'm all for that, seeing that crowd pop, so, that's fine. But that means both you, he points to Booker, he points to Vampiro, and Booker need tag partners. I assume Booker's in the back and knows that. And then we get a quick cut back to the backstage area, and Booker T's sort of has his hands on his forehead, and he's shrug his shoulders, it's okay, and just walks off. Then we go back to the main screen. It's okay, maybe he wasn't quite ready for that. Oh well. Things are more interesting. And then Bischoff walks away. And then we go back, then basically Sting goes in and says, Macias, at Super Brawl, it's going to be showtime. And then, done with that. Gets a 91, which isn't the best, but also this ran for 12 minutes. So all things considered, especially with everybody here, I'm happy it didn't give me any warnings as far as how long it went. Then we go to our opening. Oh, whoops, and I totally forgot to pre-book something. So let's go back here and actually pre-book for Super Brawl. In a huge match. It's going to be Sting versus Mysterio. No gimmicks or anything, just a big match. Anyway, now we go back to the actual show for our opening match. And about that terrible wrestling and non-existent crowd heat, Paul London defeated Chavo Guerrero and Elio Skipper in 7:05, and London pinned Elio Skipper with the London Calling. Elio Skipper was a weak link, just going to keep up everybody else's ring performance. So here, Paul London gets a 57, Chavo gets a 53, Elio Skipper gets a 42, 60 match, really good, solid stuff. And then afterwards, London is celebrating, and yes, I know I need to fix his picture. I'll do that off screen. Basically, he cuts a quick promo that says, thanks WCW fans for working so far, but he's won a couple matches, so at Super Brawl, since there's nobody else around who seems to want to challenge him, I challenge Morningstar for the Cruiserweight title. Crowd pops, and then later on, we learned that Morningstar has accepted the challenge. So now we've got Morningstar versus Paul London with the World Cruiserweight title on the line. Fun stuff. It's like I'm building a show or something. And then we go backstage, where Bischoff is the Horsemen are lounging in their their private backstage area. Johnny Lawler is rubbing Canyon's shoulders. Ric Flair's, talking to some random ladies who we may have found at a strip club nearby. And Shane Douglas is doing some shadow boxing with Jeff Jarrett. And Bischoff's like, well, folks, guys, I know you think you run things here. And, I appreciate how much ratings you've drawn, how much money you've made WCW. But at the end of the day, you just can't say somebody gets a title shot. You need to earn it, okay? So, tonight, Douglas, you want a U.S. title shot? Fine. You take on, who's a good guy? Oh, yeah, Ray's buddy, Alex Wright. You beat Alex Wright tonight, you get a title shot at Super Brawl. Alex Wright wins, well, I'll figure something out. Okay, cool. Walks away, and that's that. 84, perfectly solid stuff. Then we so that's the commercial break, and we come back, and RVD walks into, is with Booker and Sting. We're both backstage, and RVD's so bro, I heard you need some help. And, I got my own problems, but I understand, the bigger picture, So, I know Sting's busy, and, good luck, bro, with Mysterio. He's a bad mofo. But, Booker, you need some backup? I'm here for you, brother. Because I'm RVD, and you're Booker T. Booker's like, Secca, you got it. They shake hands. Everybody's happy, and we don't quite have a tag match yet because Vampiro still needs a partner. So this gets an 81 because everybody here is very, very charismatic. Then we have a 6-man match, which was just a way to sort of build up the tag title match and a way to get some random people on the show who have not been on the show in a while. And also sort of I want to sort of do a random guys from the indies who come to WCW and power plant guys, including Mike Sanders, who has not been on Nitro. God, I don't even want to look that up. But regardless, and about that is Subpar Wrestling Little Heat, Mike Sanders and Jindrak Stasiak defeated Jamie Noble and Air Raid in 720 when Sean Stasiak pinned Air Paris with the Fisherman Buster. So this got a 69. Jamie Noble got a 51. AJ Styles got a 72. Air Paris got a 67. Mike Sanders got a 40 because he's, what's that word I'm looking for? Oh, yeah, not over. But regardless, pure 6 brawl, Stasiak gets, sort of gets a cheap shot, but is able to hold his Fisherman Buster and get the pin. And then the heel celebrating afterwards gets a 63. So, yeah, there you go. Just continue to push that. And then we're backstage. And then Bischoff's back in his office, and Steiner, so both Steiner and Helms show up, and, they both, talk over, each other for a second. Steiner's like, no, and Helms like, look, it's a conspiracy that this tag team, and Bischoff is like, hold on, one at a time. And then, like, Steiner steps forward, was like, Bischoff! They should not be allowed to team. They lost a match. They can never team together again. And Helms is like, yes, it's a conspiracy again. You want us to be faced up against an actual team that has teamed together hundreds of times. Well, we've been just thrown together. And it should be illegal, because back at last Starrcade, Starrcade 2001, they lost a match that they'd never be teamed together. And Bischoff leans back, like, says, guys. It said they couldn't be a regular tag team again. I read the contract. I double-checked that. But guess what? It says they couldn't be a regular tag team. It didn't say they could never be in a tag team match again. Because WCW lawyers are smart. They know how to word things, okay? Like, I understand what you want, but look. You can beat them, right? And he sort of does that smoke style. And Helms and Steiner's like, well, if this geek doesn't get in the way, and Helms is like, well, if this moron doesn't get in the way, and then, there you go, heels in disarray. This gets a 78 because everybody's solid. Helms trickled a little bit, but what can you do? And then we're backstage, where we have Angel Fox in the middle of doing like a photo shoot for WCW.com, WCW Magazine, insert website here. And like Beth Phoenix comes up, interrupts her, and she's like, Angel, I appreciate the fact that, like, you beat me clean. I've got nothing. I'm not coming over here to chide you about that. You got the win. You pinned me. That's fine. I'll do the work to get back up at the top. But what we need to have a conversation about is you're not taking this seriously. What? And Fox is like, no. I've got I've got stuff to do. Being a champion is hard work. You know that. You know that. And Phoenix is like, that's exactly my point. Gail Kim isn't doing photo shoots. Gail Kim is in the ring. You saw her run through Cole. You saw her run through Jordan last week. She didn't need to cheat. She just, beat her clean right in the middle. So you need to get serious if you're going to keep that title around your waist. Okay? That's all I want to talk about. Fox is like, I'll be fine. Okay? I understand. But there's a quick moment where after Phoenix leaves where Angel sort of like looks down for a second, and then she looks back up, ready for another camera. So this gets a 51. And then we're to our next match. We're about to have good heat and decent wrestling. Shane Douglas defeated Alex Wright in a 27 by pinfall, the belly-to-belly suplex, following interfering for Ric Flair. So this is Ric Flair, hitting a nut shot or, crouching him on the ropes, or hitting like that neck thing on the ropes, allowing Douglas to get the belly suplex for the win. 68, perfectly solid match just to get Douglas over. And then afterwards, Douglas and Flair cackle and celebrate together. 72. There you go. Just like, perfectly straightforward stuff to get people over. And then, oh, wow, this did not go well. So, okay, so this got a 71, which, again, isn't terrible. But basically, actually, I sort of like this didn't work well because basically, like, this is sort of like, your an awkward couple getting back together after a second and trying to act like, they're totally cool together, but, they're in different places. Like, Palumbo's, rising, but he's still at the U.S. title level. He still has the old manager, but, O'Haire's like a main event star really now. He's probably the number 4 babyface in the company behind Goldberg, Ray Jr., and Sting. Maybe Booker. Yeah, so maybe he's number 5 at worst, especially with DDP and Savage both being gone for the moment. So, like, O'Haire's a lot more serious, while Palumbo's still sort of being, like, not a comedy figure, but more like a upper mid-card, joking babyface. And, but, after a couple minutes, they're like, we're back together for one last ride. And then they finish off that, and then that's at 71, and there you go. And then after that commercial, we come back, and in Deadpool's lair, which is just a really darkened locker room, Kidman with April walk in the door, and like, so you've got a problem. And Vader was like, I don't have a problem at all. I have many devotees who I could choose. Yes, you could choose them, but let's be honest here. You can't have Macias because he has to, destroy Sting. Morningstar has a cruiserweight title match, and then putting that aside, you're left with Lestat, And, Lestat is a good little soldier, but has Lestat defeated Rob Van Dam? Did Lestat defeat Ray Jr.? No, he didn't. So, I want to show to everybody in the world that me defeating Rob Van Dam was not a fluke, and that his whining is just that, whining. And there's like a little bit of aggression from Morningstar and Lestat, and Vampire holds back. He's like, Kidman, you've been a good soldier before. I believe you can be that again. Now, I wish you would join us, but we can work out an arrangement. Kidman's like, great, see you at Super Brawl. And April Hunter sort of like is sexy in the background because there you go. 80, solid stuff. And this is just a quick promo with Lexie James, where basically it puts over, her talent, and she's like, it's a shame that a real talent like me can't get time on Nitro, just because of a bunch of men with lesser talent, and more importantly, a bunch of blonde bimbos who think that they deserve TV time just because they showed up and got a title shot without working for it. And what's that kind of BS? So, Phoenix, you can talk about how you're special. Angel, you can talk about how you're such a cool girl. Well, Lexie James is still here, and Lexie James is going to knock you out. 45. I admit I did not have a plan for that. I just thought Lexie James needed a promo. And then we have, wow, this was a solid match. Like, this got an 85 despite Palumbo being injured. So, in a good match, Palumbo and O'Haire defeated Shane Helms and Scott Steiner in 12:31 when O'Haire pinned Shane Helms with the Widowmaker. This ends as you would think it would. Helms and Steiners can't cooperate, and at the end of the day, Helms walks right into a Widowmaker from O'Haire. He gets a quick pinfall. Everybody cheers. So yeah, even despite being weak link, Palumbo still got a 68, which is really awesome. So solid stuff. And then the brawl continues. Steiner and O'Haire basically brawl to the back, but basically Helms focuses on Palumbo's eye as like the announcers do put over Palumbo bruised his eye socket, in a prior match, and he just like wallops the eye, and eventually like Palumbo has to back off with his keeper just to like sort of not make sure the injury doesn't get any worse. 75, solid stuff. And then in our main event of the evening, which also gets an 85, and is about that at Super Wrestling and Great Heat, Bill Goldberg and Rey Mysterio Jr. defeat Ric Flair and Kanyon in 1951. Ray Jr. pinned Ric Flair with springboard Hurricanrana. So this did not pop it up, but I guess that's because of how I booked the match. So basically, the actual finish of the match is Alex Wright coming down the ringside, basically like yelling at Flair turning around yelling at him, and that allowing Ray Jr. just enough time to recover, hit some sort of wacky flying move, and then hit the springboard Hurricanrana for the quick pinfall victory as Goldberg spears Kanyon out of his boots as he tries to make the save. So 85, really solid stuff. Goldberg got a 90, Ray Jr. got an 84, Kanyon got an 89, Flair got a 79. Always good stuff when 2003 Ric Flair is like the worst person in your match. And the show ends with basically Babyface is celebrating, on the ramp, and both Kanyon and Flair freaking out in the ring. 82, not the hottest finish, but could be a lot worse. So this gets an 86. So not good as our 91 last week, but still pretty solid stuff that I really can't complain about. So not much going on in the after show here. Just another Raw, which I won't look at the results for because basically I'm currently trying to do some off-screen stuff with the WWE side just to make sure they book correctly towards Mania. So I'm not going to show it because basically like that's just additional booking that doesn't really matter since the game won't like care that it exists. But just to check things out, storyline wise, we got Air Raid 72. So our storylines are still doing very well. Kanyon Goldberg is really hot. Light and Darkness is really hot again. Ray vs. Horseman is really hot. And yeah, everything else is solid. No real mail. Just our Chris fees and some TV ratings. And yeah. So yeah, not much going on. I'm going to be booking The next 2 weeks is Saturday night off screen because, it's Saturday night, so it doesn't really matter that much. But, aside from that, next week will be the go home show for Super Raw. So, we'll be leading to that. So, that'll be next. But that's all for now. So, go ahead and like the video if you're enjoying things. Comment below on anything that, you're thinking about. I do can affect things, but I don't change if one person wants something different. And subscribe to the channel if you want more fun TW 2020 content like this. That's all for now. So see you later and adios.